Greetings and salutations,
Good
beautiful,
morning, everybody.
beautiful children of the atom. It is I, your procrastinator supreme, your tiredest boy, your early morning mower.
I mean, you had a long day yesterday.
Yeah, it was.
You mowed, and then you did family stuff, and then
Yeah, yeah. I ate too much because I got to have my mother-in-law's homemade pizza, and I
oh,
ate the whole pizza, and I was like, "This is rough. Why did I do this to myself? This is super good, but oh my god!" And then I had to take my Lanta. I'm a Pepto boy, Matt. I don't know if you know this about me or not,
I didn't know
but
that about you.
I love Pepto. Like I love Pepto Bismol. And I had to take my Lanta, and it was the chocolate mint my Lanta, which was
Oh,
like, I know why you like this. It's because it tastes like a fucking grasshopper drink, except for heavily laced with chalk.
yeah.
It was awful.
I mean, I guess you don't know what kind of grasshoppers they usually get, and I like them with chalk.
I tried to take a nap because I was really worn out. I needed a little time to like recover before getting back into family stuff mode. And My two youngest nephews were in a room by themselves the entirety. I think I saw Finn for probably like 10 minutes, but I had to track Gus down just to say hello. They spent the entirety of the time in a room playing with with the Mashable toys. But they don't come out. They don't say hi. They don't do anything because their parents were gone. So this is
Oh,
also the first time I have gone to a family event and not worn a mask and stayed inside.
oh,
I ate Super Spike. There was some COVID testing that went on ahead of time, and because my youngest sister-in-law and her husband weren't there, I felt more comfortable
ah,
because they're
yeah.
kind of I don't want to get into it,
No, it doesn't. You can say.
but that was cool. We played some board games, and we hung out. It was my only niece's 16th birthday.
Oh,
My nephew just got his driver's license on Friday.
oh,
Um, so he also looks wildly like his dad, even more so. And he has been working out, and his arms are now about that big around. He's gotten huge.
get them
Um,
24-inch pythons, brother.
yeah, he was always been kind of a bulky kid, but now that he's been working out,
Yeah, he's turning it
got
into.
his bulkiness has gotten into thickness territory. And I had to tease him about his shirt. Like I'd be like, "Hey, nice medium. Um, how do you keep the blood circulation in them biceps, son?" Um, but no, yeah, it was an interesting day. It was all right. We got there at noon and we didn't leave till after 10.
Oh wow.
So I was
Yeah,
tired.
that is a long day.
My wife's family is very much into like they love being together. So the whole pandemic thing has been very hard for everybody. So now when they get to, because we used to go like spend time with them like twice a month.
Okay.
So now it's like once like every 6 months or so. So when we go, it's like we're like whole hog.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Um, so also I want to show a couple things off before we get started. First of all, I got a bunch of Cosmic Legion stuff for like a couple bucks a piece.
Oh, nice.
Um, Look at this sweet head.
One second here.
I should probably make my thing big. Nope, that's the wrong button, Ben. I can't remember how to do it.
There you
There
go.
it is. Look at this head.
Oh yeah, that's
So I was saving this for use Powerhouse Hobbs head in this because I really liked the way it looked. But now I might just do this.
right. Oh yeah.
Let's see what else. You grab all my heads and stuff I picked up. I got this little rebreather thing, but this is going to go on a Star Wars guy. All right, so the thing I got that I was kind of like the least impressed with is this big belt piece.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I spent $1 on it, so I don't have any.
yeah. I mean, it's
Thanks.
usable. You can do something with it.
This is a helmet piece, but you know what else it is? It's an awesome pauldron.
Oh yeah.
And it works. I tried it out already and was like, oh damn, this is super cool. This is one of the coolest waist pieces I've ever gotten.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to cut out a little bit more to make it fit, but it looks real cool. Super Spike. What does everyone want? Coffee. I like this head a lot. It's real long. It's a long boy head.
Yeah.
But there's a cool alien face inside.
Yeah, aliens can have long boys.
This alien face is real cool. This is my least favorite because it just looks real plain.
It is. I mean, yeah.
Good for paintings.
Yeah, paint will take that to somewhere interesting, maybe.
This is awesome.
Glue some shit onto it.
Hey, I got 2 eye holes, but I have one eye in the middle that actually works. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a robot head, which I'm like, oh, Prince Adam, guess what? I'm finally get to use them white parts. This is cool, man.
That is cool.
Yeah, I did a bunch of like from one seller. I bought a whole bunch of stuff where he had like best offer, but it was starting bid was 99 cents. I just stayed on it and well, this is as much as I'll spend. And I got almost all the stuff I bid on. These are from them animal people. I can't remember.
Oh, the Ewoks.
Yeah, which I've pre-ordered the heads packs from BBTS, and they've gone backwards in when they're supposed to arrive every month for 3 months. So these are actually absolutely perfect for Motu.
Motu? Oh.
No cutting needed. They are just
right on.
They pop right on. Like, look at, I feel like I'm doing an infomercial right now. It feels real good. Like, look, just put it on. Boom.
Oh, hell yeah.
Fits perfect.
That's
looks
sick.
Good. I'm kicking myself because I only got 2 of them. And now I'm like, oh God, I hope he has some more. Because they're really well painted. And they look great. And then last but not least, Matthew, you talked me into this. And by talking me into it, I mean, like, you were like, hey, you should do this. And I was like, I hemmed and hawed. And then I was like, I guess. And now I'm fucking mad I didn't get more. I got Black Taurus.
Oh, yes.
So this is the easiest thing I've ever had to take apart.
Yeah. Oh, no.
The craziest shit ever. I got this isn't even everything.
Right. Oh no, the
boot covers came off.
The hack stuff is great for that.
And same thing with the little wristy cuff boys. So yeah, I am just over the moon with that. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it entirely. You sent me this head, and I wanted your opinion on this. This is pretty good.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had made that head as a because I didn't give a shit about her having Hurricane Hordak in my collection because whatever. So I'm just like, I'm just going to take the head off of Hurricane Hordak and make him a new character.
Is that what that is?
Well, it's just a Marvel Legends Colossus head and a Playmobil helmet.
Yeah, how did you get the paint application so good on there?
It's probably Citadel paint, but I don't know. I painted that thing so long ago, I don't even remember.
Also,
yeah, that's looking good.
Hey, camera.
I like that.
Yeah, this really turned out. So I got to find a pair of leech legs. But yeah, this will be done when they get that and seal the head. But what I realized is, man,
have a pair of leech legs in that.
No, leech wasn't in there.
What?
No Man at Arms, no leech.
Oh, I must have sold leech at a swap. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh damn it, I needed a Man at Arms as well. Also,
It's called Obsidian's head. Yes, Super Spike.
that is a great head. Why did they paint it so shittily?
Well, because that's what he looked like in the movie.
All right. Oh, this is really.
Oh, is
You
that
can't really tell because I
four?
dry brushed blue on it, so it's got like a blue glow to it.
Nice.
And there's the head. I did the same thing with the hair on this guy and painted his skin to look like a gar.
Yeah, that looks
Right.
awesome.
And last but not least, I think, gosh, I haven't shown off much lately because I've been kind of like off my game with everything. And I'll squeeze this on a body because I think it looks better that way. I gotta do a little after I seal it. I gotta do a little figuring out how to make it stick better onto a head. Oh, it's like not gonna do it now. I did it before, and now I'm like, why are you fighting with me on a Sunday morning?
It's a shame the rest. Oh yeah, I love what you're doing with that. Yeah,
This thing took paint incredibly well. I was shocked.
Plastics, I guess. It's a shame that these.
It's a shameful thing, lobster head.
That the rest of the parts on these aren't more in scale. Like it makes sense given what the bodies are, but
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna show you.
Oh, show me, Matt. Give it to me, Matt. Boom, 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 boom.
But probably worth keeping an eye out for parts. There you go.
Oh, damn, those look great. I've seen I don't know what those are from, but I've seen them and I've been like tempted, but I didn't know how they would do for scale. By the way, there's this guy. He's not I gotta finish him up, but there's what he's gonna look like eventually.
That's looking rad. This is from the boss fight Epic Hacks Skeletons.
Oh, yeah, I think I was like, skeletons. I don't really know if they'll fit this size. And
the skeletons are too big.
Yeah.
Because they're like Marvel Legends scale, but some of the gear will work.
Yeah.
So you'd probably be better off just trying to find lots. Online.
Yeah, that is. Oh, man.
And I don't know. I actually just sold a bunch of my small hacks stuff to a place, and I don't know if they're doing Epic Hacks yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if they do in the future. And they'll just sell parts.
Really? Well, I need to know more about this place. Yes, it is called Obsidian's head. I was shocked how good that sculpt is once I started applying paint to it. Like, it's real good. I was just like, oh man, like why are you hiding such a good sculpt? Like, or why did you do such a good sculpt for something you were going to paint brown and kind of green? On the modding front, I think I would like to get it started next month. And I put this Clarion call out. But I know that Colin and I are going to be like the backbone of it, is like doing like once or twice a month. We're going to do Meng on Meng. Colin's probably going to be just putting together Legos, and I am going to get back to painting and putting stuff together. I'll do it on Tuesday nights prior to Dave's stuff. So not competing with David, but like almost like looking at it as like a potential, like, hey, we're doing this beforehand, almost like a pre-show. We're the curtain jerker for Dave's main event. Do you think that new Chunky Dwarf Skeleton Mythic Legions is?
It might.
I have a Mythic Legions dwarf head that I've been trying to figure out what to do with. It's like the big helmet, it's like, oh, it's a dwarf, but he looks like a mechanical dwarf because like even the beard has armor on it. I've been trying to figure that out. Also,
dropped a link in the chat there for you, Ben.
Matt, did you see the picture I sent in our big chat that was someone did a classics style He-Man Shazam?
Yes, I did see that. Actually, Tim Seeley had tweeted that out, I think, because he's like, "Oh, this is
I that's the logo I need to do mine, and I think I am going to go black on it instead of gray, because I was amazed how good that black looked, and then I just will have to find a cloth Black Adam cape. But damn, that was a great mod. Like, that's a beautiful mod.
yeah,
Very simple too. Like, way more simple than what I was planning on doing. And for anybody who doesn't know, Tim Seeley did a Injustice versus Masters of the Universe thing at DC, and it's real good. Prince Adam, well, first of all, Skeletor gets the power of Shazam, and then Prince Adam gets it, and just fucking beats the shit out of one of the worst characters of all time, Injustice Superman. I don't get Injustice at all, but that's just
yeah.
me. So Matthew, what else have you been up to?
Mostly just been kind of putzing around here. House painting and organizing and such. Sold off a bunch of stuff. Got that in the mail, so that was good.
I sent you a message yesterday because if you're gonna get rid of any Transformers, my brother-in-law was.
I saw that. Yes.
Very much like, oh, what?
I usually have Transformers going in and out of the collection. Yes, so I will. I did just sell off a bunch, but if I've got.
Oh, okay, I wasn't sure if you were doing any Transformers.
Yeah, those are more like as I get new stuff that I like better. Okay. I'll swap out old stuff. I did just sell off my whole animated collection in one go. Even though I love those toys in that line, it's just like, all right, these are I gotta do something here.
Yeah, you need space.
Yeah,
space is the place.
Okay, yeah, it looks like these prices are pretty reasonable. I get that helmet for $5. So.
Oh, I didn't even look at it yet.
Yeah,
the Vitruvian armor.
Yes, and you specifically want to stay in that 112 section. Though, I mean, there's
some cool stuff in here, man.
There is stuff in some of the other, sections that might be useful.
Oh, that belt.
Yeah, I got to figure out. I have to take apart the skeleton on that piece. I don't know if this will work on classics or not, but I feel like it will. It's pretty close because such small waists.
But shit, if you're getting rid of your classics, I mean.
Oh, not classics, Origins.
I would think it does. That the plastic that book with the flame coming out of it's metal too. The hood, they've got some just absolutely great parts in here. I mean, good Lord.
Well, in Vitruvian Armories, I mean, they'll just sell the parts, which is great. And yeah, you can get. I didn't show you this because it was on the shelf. There you go.
Bonesaw is ready. Nice. No, I'm seeing like all. Man, I will probably drop like all $50 easy on some of this stuff because I'm like, damn, this is good looking. This is good looking stuff I could use. Which makes me very excited about like boss fight stuff that is things that I can take pieces out of.
Yeah.
Because man, Black Taurus is, like I said, it's first of all, it was an absolutely beautiful figure. Kudos to boss fight. Oh my god, it was just a glorious figure. It almost was like I should just keep this as is. My god. But I was like, well, I didn't buy it for the figure. I bought it for the stuff. So I took it apart and it came apart. Like I said, it is the easiest parts swap thing I've ever done. Ever. Like it was just
they're good.
So good. I mean,
I got to figure out like these skeletons. They do kind of come apart, but they're not as easy to come apart as like the Hax figures. I think it's just because the joints are smaller.
Mm-hmm.
But
like, look, I just slipped that on
they've got
a chunky Origins body.
In the next wave of the Epic Hax, they've got a couple different like Roman and Spartan.
Are they going to stay with the skeleton like Harryhausen theme, or what's the deal with that?
For now, at the 6-inch scale, but they are talking about doing their stuff. Just tends to move slower. their design cycle. But they're, I mean, obviously they're doing all the wrestling stuff, so they're in that space already. They're doing a superhero line.
Yeah, Dave worked on a bunch of that superhero stuff.
Yeah, so it's they're headed that direction, but I think they just need to get the tooling in.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know if you've seen this, Ben, but it is. I gotta actually pre-order this one because it's so fucking good.
Did you put it in the private chat?
I did.
He's your private chatter, chatting for money. Oh God, that's real cool. Oh dang, that's awesome. It's a undead luchador.
Yep.
So speaking of, like, I don't know why we're such on toy talk today, but that's fine.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a ton to do because I got up early. What do you think of the Operation Monster Force stuff?
A lot of them look really cool. I don't know if I'm gonna buy any of them just because I got to be careful about starting new lines. But there's some really cool looking stuff there.
There really is. I've looked at it. Of course, I'm looking at it more from like a parts boy.
Oh yeah.
But damn, like just from a visual standpoint of like inspiration, this is like some of this is like, imagine doing a Hellboy thing game.
Oh yeah.
Like this being like the visual.
Yeah, I mean they've got their whole fiction with it because they were going to do a lot of this stuff originally in their 4-inch Eagle Force line, and I don't know if they decided to just go
Sasquatch in my fucking
whole hog or whatever. But it's definitely one of those lines where it's like, all right, if I could see myself getting some here and there, and then regretting it when I feel like I need to buy all of them.
Yeah, Donner Party looks amazing, but not as good as the McFarlane Frankenstein, and that's what I'm holding out for. I'm like, hey, as soon as that drops below $20, I will own it because I love me DC Frankenstein. Also,
he's just so fucking big.
Yeah, he's a chunk boy. I would still like to get my hands on Swamp Thing as well, but he will drop like to a reasonable price and then jump back up to like $40. I'm like, I'm not giving Todd $40.
I guess it helps that some of this Monster Force stuff isn't actually coming out till next year.
That's true. Shaggy. Yes. Hey.
Yeah, I thought some of the designs were really cool. When I saw them in
Furry Toys again. I had no idea about Furry Toys, and then I looked at it. I was like, "These are incredible." It's too bad they're like $100 a figure.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to explain Cosmic Legions and Mythic Legions to my brother-in-law yesterday, and I was like, "These people would have gotten all my money if their figures were $15 cheaper."
Well, and that's, I mean, there's I'm looking just because I'm glad I'm never going to buy them, but I know people who are all in on this freaking Joy Toy Warhammer stuff, and it's like they're,
I don't think I'm familiar with that. Is that it's like a different scale than the McFarlane stuff?
Yeah, they're like 1/18.
Okay, yeah, I've seen those. I haven't looked into it, but I'm aware of it.
And they've actually they're going hard in the like there's dozens of figures already.
There's dozens and dozens of figures out there. You just have to look.
And yeah, you're not paying less than $30 a figure for these, and they're really nice. But man, I'm just thinking of people who are going all in on these, and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, I don't understand that. Like at that point, why are you just not buying just buy a model? Because that's what you're doing.
Well, these are actual action figures, as opposed to they probably do both. But
I mean, I guess
some people like the property more than the game,
I don't completely disagree with that.
And I'm sure.
Also, if you're looking for a cool modder out there, I stumbled across this channel, and they do a lot of 40K modding with the McFarlane toy stuff, and it's mesmerizing how good they are at it. It's called Blinded by Daylight, and it's wild.
I'm sure somebody's already adapted the Warhammer rules to work with the figures anyway.
I wouldn't be. Well, I don't know how you would do that because Warhammer 40K proper is like mass battle. Necromunda is their skirmish game and doesn't really involve most of the actual factions. It's more like gang wars in mega cities. And then I guess there's Kill Team, which is like small group skirmish with like proper.
Somebody had figured it out.
But Kill Team's still like teams of miniatures between like 5 and 12 miniatures. So,
well, yeah, but I mean, if you're a Warhammer player, you're not getting in the door without spending at least $300.
Oh, minimum now.
Yeah,
minimum. Someday ask Chris about his Warhammer. He should wear a shirt that says "Ask me about my Horus Heresy collection," because that's even pricier. I have not watched that Super Spike.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that either.
Tell us a little bit more about it, if you would be so kind. While you do that, I'm going to reshare my screen.
Oh yes, we do actually have some prep to do.
I did a bunch of the prep beforehand because I got snored out of bed, and I was like, "Well, I'm just up, and I have to get this done." So I gave them 5 choices. I gave them till 10 to vote. I got 3 voters. 2 of them voted for 2 different scenarios, which I was like, how hard is it to vote when I put vote for 1, not to vote for 2? And then I got 2 late votes. So Cassandra was mad because I made an executive decision and she did not want the one I made. And I was like, well, I guess you should have rallied your voting.
Yeah.
And not waited till you didn't even vote until the last hour. So that's not my problem. I'm definitely going to do this one because it's what I wanted to do. And it was a tie. So tie goes to me. So I'm going back and mining the fact that the very first game, they had to make a choice between 2 different missions to go to the keep. And they chose to work with the very, very shifty and aptly named Nyron Darkspell. When you pick to work with a guy named Darkspell.
Yeah.
The other guy was a Goliath who was injured named Onius Earthmane. And what they kind of found out is Onius's ancestor was like a good dude and had like built buildings all over what is now the Scar. And was like a scholar and like a kind of a hero, and like everyone liked him. He was a hero, he was a big deal. To the point where like they've kind of raided some of these places. They've looted them. So he has been recovering because the story was why he wasn't going with them, why he hired them, was he took a group of adventurers into Earthmane Keep before, and he was the only survivor out. And he had like I think I said he had like a broken leg, so he was recovering, and that's why he was like spending all those remaining coin to try to hire the PCs. And they turned him down and instead took this dude's money. So we'll do a little Gem Crust, always in the background, always watching. Look at the baby, look at the baby. So they're going to find that when they get back to Earthmane Keep, someone has constructed a makeshift menhir, which is like a rock obelisk. Super Spike. Just drop some knowledge in the chat. Ooh. That's super cool, man. I'll have to check that out. I do watch a lot of people who do like junk building of like ships.
Oh yeah,
I find that stuff fascinating. They're gonna find
the way the mind works with that. It's wild.
Yeah, I was watching a thing where E.C. Henry was talking about digital design of Star Wars and how he had to reteach himself that in Star Wars hard lines are there in the imagining and then are removed in the finished product. That he had learned that by watching Jamie from Mythbusters stuff, who worked at ILM at one point in design. and he had said basically that, like, hey, when you're designing for Star Wars properties, hard lines are not square corners. They don't really exist. It's I square the corner to get the look, and then I round the corners off.
Round it off, yeah.
Because ships in Star Wars are supposed to look used, like lived in. He was having a conversation on another thing where he was, I use Zenithal now, but without a airbrush. It's probably why it doesn't look quite as good. Slap chop, I think, is what a lot of people just refer to it as. He was visiting a guy that works with Weta, who did a Kickstarter for 3D printed buildings, and it's definitely in like the Hobbity Middle Earth style. They're kind of not quite straight, and it's a lot of like it's out of like cobbled stone, and they're absolutely beautiful. But they were talking about that, and he said that they had similar design aesthetics when it came to that, because he's like, I don't get to work in edges. And he had been brought in to pitch some concept work for the last Blade Runner movie. And he was like, I knew I wasn't getting that job because they were looking for something that was, rigid. And he's like, I don't do rigid. It's completely antithetical to everything I've done design work for. So it's really hard for me to wrap my head around that. And Jamie was talking about like the design aesthetic of something like, what's that? I can't remember what it's called. It's a sci-fi show that got a lot of traction here lately. It's like a hard sci-fi show that has to do with like Mars seceding from like are the Belters. It's The Expanse.
The Expanse, okay.
How that show is definitely built like aesthetically, like the ships are more like buildings. That they've got hard edges, and how he's like that is so they're industrial looking, whereas Star Wars is got some organicness to it, unless you're talking about Empire ships, which are very much hard edge ships because they're supposed to look mass produced,
right?
Cookie cutter style ships. They're done in very, very hard geometric lines, and it was fascinating to listen to those guys talk. About like design language.
Even think about that stuff.
And then E.C. Henry was talking about how he had to go. And for those who don't know who he is, he's a guy who has a channel where he also works with Skyforge, who make these like 5-minute spaceship battles for Star Wars that are absolutely stunning. And E.C. Henry, what he will do a lot of, and what he does a lot for Skyforge, he goes through OG trilogy and he finds background ships, and then he enhances them enough to get an idea what they actually look like, and then he makes them. He 3D models them, and then usually he comes up with like here's the backstory of these ships. So he did one where he was like, realize it's just a Saturn II rocket model, just the top capsules, 2 of them facing away from each other. And he like did this whole thing, and he made it, 3D model. It looks like Star Wars. And he's like, this is a tanker ship. It's a refuel ship. It's round. It looks like a refueling tank. So it's just a tanker ship. And then they will stick it in the Skyforge videos.
Oh, nice.
And the little Star Wars movies. So you'll see like, oh, hey, there's a ship they pulled out of the very back of Return of the Jedi that looks like a glob on your windshield, and broke down and figured this out. And it's amazing. It's one of my favorite channels to watch. It's just they don't put out videos quickly, because making 5-minute Star Wars space battle films that absolutely look like they could be in the movies is not easy.
No.
So yeah, it's interesting stuff. I said E.C. Henry and Skyforge put out amazing stuff as well, especially if you're into Star Wars and ship design. Full circling it. So they're going to find him in here. with a janky ass stone table. It's going to have still like blood stained into it. And so what we're figuring out is the boggards, or I always call them boggards, but there's bullywugs, same thing, have come back to the keep because the PCs in the very first session never closed the portal to the elemental plane of mud. So mud has just been seeping through this portal. It's now filled the entirety of the bottom and it's pushed its way out. And every time they've rode by it, I've mentioned like, oh yeah, you drive by the remains of Earthmane, or you drive by, you ride by or walk by the remains of Earthmane Keep, and it looks different because it's like, where's all this mud coming from? So they've come back, and someone has given them a Slod egg.
Okay.
So the Slod are these giant, like, ultimate chaotic frog people that live in the elemental plane of chaos. And they kind of have the same vibe as like aliens. They inject eggs into you that eventually grow and then burst out a Slod.
Fun.
And Slods are cool because when I use them, I make a table of just random actions that they do every single round. So an early ass 5e session I ran for one of the groups, it was kind of similar to this. The bullywugs were summoning a Slod or awakening a Slod. So when the Slod got there, every round I would roll to see what the Slod would do. Like one round, it just stopped and wanted to talk about cats. In the middle of a fight, it was just like, have you ever seen a cat from the prime material plane? And they were like, what the fuck are you talking? Because they're nasty monsters. I mean, they literally can stab you with their claws and inject you with an egg that will then grow inside you and burst out, killing you. And then it would talk in different languages, and then it would, and there's a bunch of different kinds of Slods. Like red Slods don't make red Slods. Red Slods make blue Slods. It's weird. They're weird. So I really like them because it's like completely chaotic. They're just built for chaos. So they're going to find that the boggards have gotten it as a Slotty egg and injected it into a person they kidnapped and then buried them in the mud, bound up, and even bound with like a reed in their mouth sticking out of the mud so they could still breathe. And they're just waiting for this, walking god, because they're also frog people, to burst out of this guy's body, and then they can come back and be like, oh, great Slod, tell us what to do. So the PCs can find this person, and then they can try to figure out what the fuck. Also, Onius Earthmane has a magical item that allows him a version of Earth Sense. So he can figure out that one of the rooms in the below area is not filled with mud. It's been sealed. And he desperately wants to get into that room because he wants to know what's in there. So he's looking for portal equipment, which the PCs have found at a different location and actually trapped their adversaries on the other side of the portal. Because what they figured out is Vorin Earthmane did not have a central home. He had rooms spread throughout this area that were all connected by portals. So he could be like, oh, you're going to attack my library? That's fine. I'll just close the portal and you'll never get to my alchemy lab. He just used portals for everything, which is really, I thought, and that's actually from the Chaos Scar adventure that was in Dungeon or Dragon magazine. I don't remember which. I was like, that is fascinating. That's super fucking cool. That's a really neat idea.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, I just made all my rooms of what would be my home portal accessible. So, if you do come at me, which you probably will be dumb, if you did, you're not going to get me. Because I just will walk through this portal and close it behind me. So like, I like that idea in that the fact that when they do get into this, because it's kind of the crux of the thing is to get into this room, there's no portal equipment. It's just books. Then the other thing is there is a staff of earthly might, which is on the other side of the portal, and just through the portal and the into the elemental plane of mud. And if they just pull the staff out, the portal closes. And then they have this really cool magic item. Like, it's a fucking awesome magic item. Even in 4th edition, it was Let Me Look in This Adventure. Even in 4th edition, where everything was crazy powerful, it adds to your attack and damage rolls. It knocks people prone when you hit them, which is wild.
Yeah.
And when you're standing on a surface of stone or earth, you gain a +2 bonus to your athletic and strength checks. So I just got to find some earth or some stone to stand on, and then I'm badass. Also, once a day as a free action, when you hit somebody, you basically make them feel like the weight of the earth is upon them, so they're slowed.
Oh wow.
It's a great item. Like I love like the design choices of this item. So and it's one of those things where like Odious doesn't give a shit about the item. He wants the portals.
Yeah.
So it's also that thing by the end is, do the PCs tell him, by the way, we've been to other places and we know how to activate these portals? Because if he finds out they have, and then they didn't share that, he's gonna be pissed. Pissed enough where I could see him becoming a serious antagonist.
Oh.
But if they do tell him, if they're like, hey, this is what's we've been going on, they gain a very powerful ally. It's just he's now a broke ally because he's now spent everything he has to do this. So it also makes it kind of sad because he's like been a part of a couple expeditions and none of them have worked out.
Oh.
And he's living with the guilt of that. Like he's actually a decent dude, but he's also kind of like I must live up to the legacy of my name type of guy, to the point of like making bad decisions. So the reason for the season, why I have everyone's attention here, is I would like to generate some books. So I've got 2 book generators up.
Okay.
And I want y'all's help making them cool. Let's make cool books cool again. All right. So this is a cool one I just found today. It's like you just push create book and then it just creates it and lets you know. This one is like, hey, do you want a spell book? Just give us the levels and we'll give you the spells that are in the book.
Yeah.
So I figure like doing a couple spell books and then doing some interesting books, and then we can fiddle with the books to make them a little more built for the Scar. So the first one was the Classical Archives of the Guildmaster, A Fate Forfeit. This book is an account of someone's life written by someone else. Which I'm like, So let's generate. Categorical Procedure of Divinity, Religion in General. Color of Winter, a songbook of religious hymns. This is kind of cool. It's written in Gnomish / Dwarven rune, and I thought about like just seeing this makes you go, oh, it's like a bard songbook.
Yeah.
And I love the name. So we're gonna do this one. What do I need to do? And we'll go like this, and we'll go paste without formatting. Oh, I just gotta go like this apparently. Matt, do you got big plans for today? Super Spike, Shaggy, big plans for the day?
I've got a little bit more painting to do up in the attic.
Oh God, you're going in an attic? It's super hot, man.
It's not too bad today. Yesterday sucked.
Oh.
Yeah, just a little bit of painting. Just touch up stuff. Do that quick. And then I don't know. We'll see when Danny gets home and what she wants to do.
So it says that this has got a hollowed out section in the middle with a small item. What should the small item be? My first thought is a pair of earrings that lets you translate any song into your language, but only songs.
I was almost thinking like some kind of little, basic magic, like, one of those little tone whistle things, that you blow on to get everybody on key, and then it does some kind of,
I love it.
I don't know what um power it would have, but maybe it just auto tunes you.
Yes. I love it because it's kind of useless in combat. Oh, lesson plan, Shaggy. Good luck to you, my friend.
Mm.
Oh, trainings. Yeah, I ain't doing shit. When I'm done with this, I might play Minecraft for a little bit, or I might just go to lay down. I'm fucking tired. I'm very tired. I'm so
Yeah,
sick. I'm so sick of tired.
You were there till 10, so you didn't get home till
We
1.
didn't, yeah, 11:15 or so.
Ugh.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I started mowing a little after 8 yesterday. I was that guy.
I was maybe gonna mow today, but I might just do it tomorrow or let it ride. It's not too bad yet. It's gonna be nasty this week though.
I wanted to get it done because I was like, it's kind of getting high and thick again. I didn't want to wait, and I knew it could be like brutal outside, so I wanted to just get it done. What?
No,
That's awesome, man! Congratulations!
Yeah,
Holy
that's
crap, that's great. That's you'll kick ass at it. They're making a good decision to give you that option. All right, spell book. Let's choose this. Let's try this out. Choose a specialty: generalist, arbinger, conjurer, diviner, enchanter, evoker, illusionist, necromancer, or transmuter.
Throw it at the chat here and let them decide.
All right, well, they chat. What chat? While chat decides, I'm going to quickly go get my water bottle out of the freezer. I shall return shortly.
All right. Yeah, I can barely read those on my screen here, so I don't know if you guys are able to read that stuff, but take a pic, pop in the chat. Chat is now not.
Okay. Also, Cassandra got like gym mats and put them down in the laundry room, like the pathway in the laundry room.
Yeah.
And it feels super weird, but at the same time, it's so nice not to step on concrete. Good luck on the teacher's job. Again, it's whatever you put your mind to with that, and if that's your passion, just know that you can do it and keep plugging. That's all there is that matters is plugging. Oh, just shake weighting this water. I'm so tired.
Yeah, let's come up with another book or two and let you rest, man.
Well, I want to wait. So there's a line from The Lion and Winter that my dad would always, which was one of my dad's favorite movies, he would always quote. And I kind of feel I quote it to Cassandra all the time because I feel like it fits her as well. When the king's off his arse, no one sleeps. So when she's struggling to sleep and I already don't sleep well, it makes me not sleep well at all.
Oh.
So I've got to wait until she wakes up.
Oh.
and vacates that area. So I can then attempt I can attempt sleep. Beautiful, beautiful sleep. Um, but she got up early yesterday, which is antithetical to her existence on the weekend. Generally, it's like
Oh yeah.
between 10 and noon, leaning more towards noon. And she was awake at 9 and then just laid in bed for an hour.
Yeah, the cats won't let me sleep that late. That's for sure. I slept till around 8 today, and that was late for me.
Hey man, IP meetings, they suck for everyone involved. I used to have to attend those. I hate them. But at the same time, you're able to glean a lot of information for all parties involved in a care team. And it helps from a non-educational standpoint for other care providers. It helps you formulate like your CSSP addendums, even like IAPPs and SMAs, as well as like my abuse prevention plans and positive behavior support plans. I always wish that educators knew how important, even though they are the worst to set through, IEP plans and meetings are. So you're doing that hard groundwork for everybody else, and we greatly appreciate it. You're not told that enough. You really aren't. So thank you. Even though I'm sure you're in Illinois, so probably a lot of the alphabet soup I just said doesn't apply. Your DHS rules are probably completely different, or it's the same paperwork, it's just called something else. Okay, anyway. What did we choose for Magic School?
They did not make a choice.
Well, Matthew, you make a choice.
All right, what are my options again?
Generalist, Arbinger, Conjurer, Diviner, Enchanter, Evoker, Illusionist, Necromancer, or Transmuter.
Let's do Illusionist.
Illusions.
Nope. Super Spike just said Transmuter. So if you want a second one, we can do that.
Oh, we can put a book title. Yeah, that sounds silly. Oh! What language? We're gonna say it's in. Oh, these are all. I don't want those. These are dumb. We're gonna say it's in Giant / Goliath. Include a level appropriate number of cantrips. Yes, and we're going to make it level 2. And then we're going to generate your spell book. Okay. We're gonna do this. Do this. Do this. Oh, just this. Maybe. Paste without formatting, and then it's going to make me do this. And I'm going to be like, this is annoying that you make me do this every time.
I think you can just hit Control-Shift-V.
Really?
Yeah.
Copy. Yeah, see it. This is what happens when I just do that. It's weird. It's a weird.
That's awful.
So you paste without format.
AF. Control. Oh no, I think you just gotta yeah. It's because you were already in bold.
We'll do formatting. BS. So we'll do another one that we'll do transmuters for Super Spike. Which is funny because I don't think there's a single wizard in the party, which makes it even better. Let's do another spell book real quick because there's 2 spell books I think it's going to be in. Transmutor, and we're going to do it. We're going to do level 5.
Ooh.
We're going to call it changes. Turning to face. Okay.
Oh no, turn and face the strange.
Oh God. It's turn and face the strange. You're right. Turn
yes.
Face. Can be written in Eladrin. I think of Bowie as being a elf for some reason.
Oh yes.
Even though he was a goblin king. All right, we're gonna generate this spell book. Oh, that's an interesting list of spells.
Oh.
So you guys didn't do a walk yesterday, Matthew?
No, I just popped over to Beards and we
You did work, put that work in.
Stuff. Yeah, they got a lot of stuff to sort through and store or get rid of or whatever.
Yeah. It's a lot, man.
Yeah.
That's you're literally like combining households, which I think is rough.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, it's such a pain in the ass.
TLB.
Yeah, I was very lucky that Danny never has anything. So she does now, but when she was doing, a little bit on her own or whatever with roommates and stuff, she would basically, if she couldn't fit it all into a single carload, then she wasn't doing it.
There's something to be said about that. I wish I was a little bit better about that, but I'm definitely not.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm good about getting rid of stuff I don't need. I'm not precious about, other than the collection, of course. But
I feel like you're not even overly precious with that. You have a good like head on your shoulders where you're like, hey, is this bringing me joy? Is this bringing me happiness? Because if not, then it probably needs to move on.
I try. I'm not as good about it as I'd like to be, but I'm getting better.
Well, I really admire. That's something I very much admire about you, Matthew, and I'm not afraid to tell you that.
Oh, well, thank you. But yeah, Danny is probably too far the other way, where she'll be like, "Oh, I'm pissed about music right now, so I'm going to get rid of all my musical equipment," and then in 6 months or whatever, she just has to buy it again. And
a little bit of feast and famine with that.
And I've tried to be like, like I get if you don't want it anymore, but like hang on to it for 6 months or a year or whatever. We've got room.
Do you think that's the curse of the artist?
Well, I think it's more just, not necessarily. I mean, she's done that too, where she's like, "Oh, I deleted our YouTube account. That was really dumb." I think it's more just like she likes to just like cut things off. And
I've been accused of that.
And let it, just be like, all right, this is, that was the before times or whatever. And I don't necessarily like, that's not a bad thing, but I think it's also good to know when it's appropriate and with what. Because like her thing is, it's like, oh, I'm just gonna get rid of all this stuff, and it's like, well, yeah, you don't want to be, you're not in this band anymore, but you still like music.
Yeah, and also like, do you really just want to try to erase that?
Yeah, and it's like, I get it if it's like, oh yeah, you have to move to a smaller place or whatever, you just don't have the room. Then sure, get rid of it if you can, or if it's got some value and you'd rather have the money than the thing. Yeah, I get that too. But if you don't necessarily need the money or you don't need the space, then you might as well just hang on to it for a little bit and see if the interest comes back around. If it doesn't, then yeah, always get rid of it down the road.
Yeah, I think too. I find sometimes that it's like if I have like a weird attachment to something, why do I have that weird attachment? Is that weird attachment like, is it servicing anything, or is it just me being a weirdo?
Yeah.
Okay. White Heart, a drama stage play. The book is leafed through, but otherwise good conditions. Written in Abyssal. It's a very thin book. That's fair. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's not like King in Yellow interesting, but I mean, it's. I guess. Shaggy, as our resident Chicagoan, do you partake of ordinary sausage?
Oh.
I believe lives in Chicago.
I mean, Chicago is a sausage town.
I've sent you videos of ordinary sausage, Matt.
Yes, you have.
And they're amazing. I will not hear otherwise. I know for a while he didn't live in Chicago. They lived in like Florida, and he was very upset about it. I think they're back in Chicago again, and the world is a better place for it. Revealed records of the Emperor Third printing now. Auspicious demonstrations of using magical devices. This book is meant to teach a person a specific skill. This can be used as a permanent. Oh, I love this. Yeah, we're doing this one. That's got legs. That's super cool. And then we'll go like this. And then we'll have to go like, oh, hey, guy, what do you think about that? And I'm like, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Oh. Yeah, that is an interesting one.
Yeah, he did one this week last week that he boiled or he steamed a steak inside of an onion. And I was like, why? But he was like, it's really good. Shockingly enough, it's real good. I enjoy his brand of insanity. He's like YouTube suggestions made him make a sausage made out of whiskey, and he was like, "This is the dumbest shit. I don't know why I listen to you people. You're fucking idiots." Like, it's awful. Big surprise. 0 out of 0, 0 out of 5. This we can use to add something interesting to a specific skill. Permanent. So what should the skill be? Would it be maybe Arcana, since it's to do with magical devices?
Yeah, that would make sense. Okay,
I like that. Has to be. So I'm thinking it's written in
and if they've got Arcana, maybe it just ups their whatever their.
Well, your Arcana score just can keep going. Your skill score can keep going up.
Okay, yeah. So it's okay. There you go.
Old/forgotten form of of what do the deep gnomes speak? E5e. What do deep gnomes speak?
Aha.
This because I have to apparently.
It's-
Also, my mother-in-law sent so many sweets home with this that it's disgusting. And I'm just like, this is bad. Like, this is real bad for me. As I said in our chat, my little pork chop is 16, and she's gone from tiny little nerd into goth queen.
I mean, that's sunrise, sunset.
It sucks when I look at her now and I'm like, all I can think of is like, I must protect you from shitty boys and probably shitty girls, because I think that she's intonated that she
Sure.
bisexual. But also part of me is like, you should wear different clothes. You should do a better job of hiding your popping booty and your giant chesticles. Probably a little bit, but also I'm like, well, I'm not your parent and I don't want to be that guy. But part of me is just like, I just see pork chop when I look at her and it makes me go, but pork chop must be protected at all costs. It's frustrating. I keep thinking to myself, does that make me a shitty uncle?
I mean,
That I'm like, I don't know.
you know.
Oh, this one's cool too. Learn to read. It's like the Rosetta Stone book of
Duolingo.
Yes, I get you, my friend. Learn to read.
I kind of like the idea that there is just like a magical owl.
Bubo?
Well, no, I mean like the Duolingo owl. Like you just go like talk to this owl and it'll teach you a language.
Oh, see, all I can think of magical owl is Bubo.
Well, sure. I mean, Bubo's great too.
So, what is this? Art of reading, and we need the art of reading runes. How do I want to put that? The art of reading dwarven runes through common translation. Okay. Requires an int of 18 or higher to utilize comprehend. Requires what is that? Oh, proficiency in Arcana. This one requires nothing. This one doesn't require anything. Okay. Oh. I'll put this in above.
There you go.
Let's do 2 more and then do a couple small boy items. And we'll move on. Calling it a day. I love the channel. I find it hilarious, Shaggy. I hope you do as well. But I'm also a Luddite. So a plebeian. Gather demands of the dwarves, dwarven religion, and their pantheon. Oh. Okay. Gray Light. This book discusses the topic of the lore of beasts. It's outlawed in many regions because it may contain evil magic. Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is excellent. I like the idea of a banned book. Since happening so often right now. Topic of history, lore, and control of beasts. This book is, we're just going to say it's outlawed in most regions due to the evil magic it contains. Proceed with caution when dealing with this book. In common speech and scrawl messages on the cover to warn future readers. Reading this tome results in making 3 wisdom saving throws. A DC 13, 15, and 17. Failure on any roll results in a loss of 1d4 nature skill. I like when things have consequence for actions.
Hell yeah.
And one more book. Opinions on the Tenets of Ruin, a Natural Philosophy. This book gives advice and tactics against a certain type of creature. Interesting. Uncover Desires of the Sea Captain, a Dangerous Mind. No. Bordrick's Fantastic Adventure, a Dwarven Choose Your Own Adventure book. Fuck yes. That is amazing. I was like, oh man, I hope we actually get another good book in here. And then they were like, oh, we got something forward ass.
We got something.
We have something between 2 pages. It is a map to an abandoned Dwarven Forge. Should we do one more? See what we get, just to see if there's anything worthwhile there.
Yeah.
That's another play. What? Makes no sense. Okay, this is the last one because this actually fits with last time. Last session a little bit. This is the last book I'm putting in here. I got to stop. I get too much in my own, like,
yeah.
Bugbear choice. A tome of Goblinoid Epicurean lights.
All right, because we were on it just today, I'm putting this in here in the private chat as a potential item.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, this is definitely happening, Matt. God damn, that's beautiful. You beautiful, beautiful man. Teach you how to cook and prepare cuisine from a specific prepare cuisine that is extremely appetizing to goblinoids, in particular bugbears.
Nice.
Especially since they just met a cool bugbear and some goblins last time.
Yeah.
Lengthy dedication to Orvnog. Delicious. All right, couple small items because man, first of all, we're doing your small item because that thing is great. Here, wand of curing, boom, and a boom.
And I like that it's called that because they're going.
Yes,
healing wand.
That's I was like, why is Matt putting kind of like a weird mundane item in there? And then I saw what it actually was, and I was like, well, shit. The ordinary sausage wand. All right. Magic item generator. We're going to say it's a common to uncommon, cursed, maybe. This isn't really like minor items, but I don't like this. One use magic item generator. Let's see if I get something better here.
This is kind of, I don't know if this works with your stuff, but I kind of like that. Just the description of it.
I like that. That's interesting. I mean, everybody. I don't think I've ever had a group that does not love wild magic to a disturbing degree. They love it, especially when it goes in their favor, and when it doesn't, then they're like, "Oh, why?" It's fucking wild magic, guy. Scrolls are great too because they're a one use item.
Yeah.
Ooh, Griffin's Saddleback's awesome. So let's see if there's anything in here. Like that's a great. Like look at this. A dagger and a sword named Hour and Minute.
Ha.
They make such good stuff. It's stupid. Like their magic items are so good. First of all, they've always got really good arts to go with it.
Oh, Jesus Christ, this is terrifying.
What's that? That's not gonna work. Matt's just chatting it up in here. Yeah,
Might be too much.
I love Gibbering Mouthers as a monster, but I'm trying very, very hard to pull myself away from too much Lovecraftian stuff. And they're like the epitome of Lovecraftian because I think I fall into a using Lovecraftian horror and things like that, or like Yog-Sothothery in general as a crutch.
Ah,
And I need to be a little bit better about it. So I'm trying very hard to. Type of item, trinkets. First property, weak. Second property, weak. Quantity 1, submit. Master's Bracers of the Wizard. You immediately gave me a fucking wondrous item.
yeah.
Oh, this is kind of a cool one. Except for you get a +1 to intelligence. That's real powerful. It is not, Len, it is not a weak magic item. That's a waterborne cap. This item floats on water and other liquids. The bearer has advantage on strength, athletics. Okay, that's kind of interesting, actually.
There's one here, lazy great axe. If you are holding this weapon at the start of an encounter, roll a d6. If you roll a 6, you get a +1 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with it for the duration of the encounter. Otherwise, it is a magical weapon but does not grant a bonus.
Oh, that's interesting. Does require attunement, but I don't usually use attunement because I find attunement to be So this item floats on water or other liquids. Its bearer has advantage on strength athletics checks to swim.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
It just literally just makes you buoyant.
Yeah, there's one here. It's floating breastplate. Breastplate of polished steel seems normal in every respect, but will float on water as long as it's not being worn.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's so many of these have like a bunch of charges, which is like why? That's like a permanent bonus? God damn. This one's good. I don't like the name though, and I don't want to think of a new name. Oh, okay. This is my last one. This is a weird one. I like weird.
Yeah, weird is fun.
Crawling bracers. Don't care about all this. I'm a real cool guy. Crawling things of the earth, such as insects, snakes, and vermin, are attracted to this item. When placed on the ground, such creatures will scurry toward the item like moths drawn to a flame.
Interesting.
It's like a weird. And we're gonna put this in. There is a 25% chance that larger burrowing beasts will also heed this call, such as a gem crust. I like that idea. They're like, oh, hey, we have this thing that draws creatures.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh no.
Oh, no. Yeah, I popped one more in the chat there.
All right, what's our last one here? Oh hell yeah. Safety dance. Club.
Hit me with your disco stick.
I love the fact it's called Dance Club. Oh, what? No. Why did I just turn into Christopher Walken for a second? What? No, it's don't want it to have that sort of style of formatting. Why? Okay, when you hit a creature with this weapon, the target takes no damage but begins dancing until you cast a spell Irresistible Dance upon it. This creature can use an action DC 13 Wiz. This is one of the best items I think we've had in quite some time. Like, seriously, this makes me stupidly happy. All right. I feel like we got good items.
Yeah, you got some fun stuff.
Was there anything else on here I wanted to see below list of items of items as to what is contained. There is also a heavily damaged portal gate that is unrepairable with current knowledge. All right, I think we're good.
Cool.
Matt, what you got going on? Where can people find your beautiful visage?
I'm here most Sundays. I'm on the Dave Wonder channel most Tuesdays for Chop Chop. And yeah, I'm on Blue Sky now. That's been nice.
Matt, what is that?
It's a Twitter clone.
Don't you mean X?
No, I don't, and I never will. Yeah, still get the Instagram. Just haven't done much with it in quite a while, but someday. Yeah, that's me.
You can find Lee. Find Lee?
Finally.
What are words? What words?
What are words for?
What words? What words mean? I didn't do Bad Games on Friday. I had a rough week. Luckily, the Townsends and their crew of ghost hunters played Phasmophobia instead. I heard it was pretty fun, but there was a lot of screaming. Maybe one day I will play Phasmophobia with them. I do enjoy that game, but I've generally only played it with my homies Doug and Alyssa, and it does involve a lot of screaming. So I don't know. I needed the Friday off.
Yeah,
so
it's always good to take time for yourself.
I had a bad week after a fall, so I was like, I needed to rest my brain because it was on malfunction junction. But I should be back this week. Of course, tomorrow, Chaos Scar. We only have 4 players currently, which I'm cool with that. And no. And then I don't know if this week was a Spoopy Boys. I literally don't remember. We're trying to get that kind of straightened out as far as having a schedule.
Yeah.
Because Colin, he's got kids, man. He's got kids to feed. Quite literally sometimes. And I would like to know like what I'm doing. I'm hoping that more people will kind of take up the clarion call on some of the like other stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to make Mondays RPG day and have consecutive games like on every Monday. And most of them will be pretty simple stuff like Star Wars, Old Pharaoh, Chaos Scar, and DNO when it returns. And while DNO's on hiatus, I'm probably going to run a mini series with Worlds in Peril, the whole possibles thing we've been talking about, because I'm very intrigued about running a weird ass amalgam Marvel DC universe hopping, multiverse hopping game. Yeah, other than that, it'd be Bad at Games on Friday. I think either Wildermyth again, because people tend to enjoy that. But I've also thought about restarting Pathfinder Kingmaker, which here, let me show off that game. Because I have Wrath of the Righteous as well, but I have not played it at all. And I've heard it can be far less forgiving. I know that Adventure Path was far less forgiving. So Kingmaker's cool. It's definitely in that vein of Baldur's Gate. Except for you're literally settling a kingdom.
Oh.
You're basically given a writ saying, hey, this land is unsettled. You can go in and settle it as long as you have fealty to the person who gave you the writ. But you also get to like take people into your party, and you can, make decisions on, do you want to be good? Do you want to be bad? It's got romances, of course. And then the combat's pretty standard for games like Baldur's Gate. As you can see, it's relatively pretty. It's got a lot of intrigue involved as well, because when you actually settle your kingdom, you actually have to run the kingdom as well.
Oh.
So you have to take some of those people you've attracted into your group and give them jobs that they do beyond adventuring. They have to like, hey, I need you to run this, or I need you to deal with, you've got a good charisma score. Go to these people that are threatening to revolt and talk them into not fucking revolting. Because if they revolt, I'm going to murder them. All of them. So it's a game that has a lot of choices. And I like the idea of choice built games, doing them on stream, because I feel like we all get to make choices together.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do, if we don't do Wildermyth, maybe we'll do that. Plus it has a giant owlbear in it. And I like that. I like a giant owlbear.
Like a giant owlbear.
So yeah, I'll figure something out. I don't know. I've also been like debating starting Star Wars The Old Republic. Knights of the Old Republic. Because I downloaded it and I just have not bothered to restart it. And I remember playing it on Xbox. Just Star Wars The Old Republic, not Knights of the Old Republic. But I've debated jumping in that because it's one of those, again, lots of decisions.
Yeah.
Do you want to be Jedi? Do you want to be Sith? All that good stuff. So I'm thinking probably more games like that, rather than games where you have to watch me just eat shit on a consistent basis. But I don't know. Something. Maybe also Graveyard Keeper. The two DLC packs I didn't have were both $1.99 this week, and I picked them both up. And they were, because the names were great. Let's see if I can remember the names of them. Better Save Soul, Game of Crone, and Stranger Sins were the 3 DLCs I didn't have. And for those who don't know, Graveyard Keeper is basically Stardew Valley, but you're in purgatory and you literally run the graveyard. And you can bury bodies, burn bodies, or turn them into zombies to do your labor. You also are brought your bodies by a communist donkey who is
Sure.
constantly explaining his
That's what it
communist ideals to you and demanding carrots for services rendered. He's a real shithead. It's a great game. It's very like mellow, combat minimal, but a lot of like exploration. There's a lot of like you're doing jobs to make. So kind of spoilers. You're dead. You're in purgatory. You die at the beginning of the game. You get hit by a car, and you wake up in like a medieval village type situation. And the main 7 NPCs are representations of the 7 deadly sins.
Interesting.
So there's like a crazy like church inquisitor guy. There's like a lady, a bar singer in the local tavern who's kind of like lust. There's all these little things you have to kind of navigate how you deal with these people, or these concepts given form. And you can eventually like build your house and everything up to the point where you can open your own tavern. But like one of the first things you have to do is actually like repair the church that's next door to your shitty house in order to bury bodies there, because you get a lot of bodies. It's fun. It's a fun game. It's got a very dark humor vibe to it. Like it's super tongue in cheek. And I really enjoyed it. I just haven't played it in a really long time, so I'd be kind of like, again, starting from scratch. A while back, I like gifted copies to a lot of my pals, so I'm always like, we should play this, but then I remember it's not a multiplayer game. But it's really, really fun. It's like, if anyone enjoys Stardew at all, but it's like, man, Stardew doesn't really have a big story going, and it can get kind of like repetitive. I would tell them play Graveyard Keeper, because a lot of the repetitive tasks you can just be like, I'm making fucking zombies to do that my busy work. I'm going to do some exploring instead, and then I'm going to make a bunch of stuff. And so it's fun. It's a good game. Anyway, I hope everyone had a good time. I hope you had a good time, Matthew.
I did.
And I will see some of you hopefully tomorrow night for Chaos Scar. And then we'll see what's else going on this week, because I don't remember. I got the eye bag today. Look at the eye bags.
I hope you can get some rest. And
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm like tired, but maybe I'll go upstairs and like I'll watch a series or something, and I'll probably fall asleep during it.
Yeah.
I need to watch 30 Coins this week, because I've been saying this for a while, and I've just been real bad.
Please, I mean,
oh crap! I took that thing off this guy, and look, he's got like a weird stuff inside. Like this piece came off. And it's got like inside.
Oh yeah, because it's clear on some of the other releases of that. So
well, that's neat. Why do I sound like my 70-year-old grandma when I was in school? Well, that's neat.
Isn't that cute?
That's really special for you. I think the next time I play a wizard, I'm going to do the grandma. Oh, look at you and look at your magic and your clothes. That's very, very, very keen. Your mother will be so proud of you. I kind of want to do, I know I put it in the chat, in our little group chat. For those that are unaware, just look up on YouTube, Bim Bam Roscoe the Potato Man. I want to do Griffin's Roscoe the Potato Man voice. Hey, Justin. Look, I got potato fingers. You know what they're made of? Finger lengths. I'm Roscoe the Potato Man. I'm made of potatoes. But I can't do it as well as he does. I don't have quite the twang in my voice.
Practice makes perfect.
It's a little, Roscoe the Potato Man is a little Terry Funk. There's a little of Uncle Terry in there. Uncle Terry's got more of a whisper when he talks, and then he gets real angry and starts saying, Bret Hart, your mother's a whore. And with that, you've been watching Prep School.
Sure have.
Bye.